Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another review. Today I have to you the Fosi Audio DS1. Yes, after I took a look at the Fosi Audio DS2, thank you very much again Fosi Audio for sending that over as well. They also sent over the DS1 for comparison, and yeah, as usual, I have not been asked, influenced, or they did not do anything to tell me what to say here, and all of the thoughts I have in this review are exactly 100% my own. And as usual, packaging accessories first. That's packaging that looks exactly like the one of the DS2. You slide it out like that, get the manual. Here would be the dongle, and here are accessories. As accessories, we get a USB-C to USB-A. We get a USB-C to USB-C cable, and we will check that out for a moment here. That's a cable, as you can see. It is braided. It is like relatively thick in that, but not the thickest. And the strain releases, unfortunately, they ain't releasing no strain, as you can see. This is just hard plastic. And there's a small issue with that when we come to the actual dongle itself later on. But other than that, this is a USB-C cable that's just exactly what it's supposed to do. And yeah, I have no issue with this cable when we are not using it with the dongle. Shoop. Let's move that out of the picture. So yeah, I do like the inclusion of the USB-A to C because some laptops definitely still have A and you might use it. And next we take a look at the build quality of this dongle, and as you can see here, this is similar in terms of sizing to the DS2, but what you will not see, and what is also difficult to express in video, this thing is way more heavy than the DS2. Also, other dongles with a chipset from ES, still not the same. This is really heavy compared to the others that I have here. And the main reason for this is machined aluminium. Like this is, you can see how thick this aluminium the outer side is. It's like millimeter or so all around. And that means this shit has weight in your hand. Like really, it feels like if you use it like this to hit somebody, you can kill somebody. Like this is a chunky device in terms of weight. Because dimensions, as you can see, it's, just like all other dongles. It's not as big, and it just feels nice in the hand. Like, this is one of those things, again, like similar to the DS2, it just feels very well made overall. I like this a bit more in terms of like sturdiness, due to, thick aluminium. But there's some disadvantages with this like machined aluminium here. See the edges? This is a sharp edge. I'm not sure whether this is visible on camera, but damn, this edge is sharp. If you throw this in your pocket with your smartphone, you will scratch your smartphone. If you throw this in your pocket with maybe an IEM, well, chances are this will poke holes in, or not holes, but like small scratches in your resin IEM. It's just very sharp corners. And I would strongly advise Fosi Audio, with the next revision of the DS1, just make the corners smoother. This is just too much. Like, it looks nice, but it's like so square, but it's too much in terms of usability in day-to-day life. It's just, it hurts almost to touch it. But other than this, I have no complaints with the DS1 in terms of build. As I said, thick aluminium, and also generally, like, everything seems to be in place. The seams around the 4.4 seem to be fine, about the 3.5 are fine. The USB-C connector seems to be integrated well here. The buttons, they have a nice click to them. Let me just, maybe you can hear it here. So the buttons also seem to be absolutely fine. And I think even the buttons are made of aluminium. So overall, this is a very well built dongle again, similar to the DS2. I have literally no complaints in terms of build. And as I said, the only problem I have is when usability-wise, the corners are just they're a bit sharp, alright. And then next we come to our connectivity and power. And coming from the DS2, this is a bit of a downgrade, unfortunately. That means while the noise floor of this in terms of connectivity is basically zero, like you can't hear anything even with sensitive IEMs. It's just less powerful than the DS2. This is rated in balanced for, wait, I have the data sheet open, 220 milliwatts, while the DS1, this is the DS1, right? 220 milliwatts. But the DS2 is rated at 501 milliwatts, 32 ohms. So quite a bit more capable in terms of maximum power. Minimum, this is balanced though, right? Single-ended is 120 milliwatts, where I think they are similar in terms of with the DS2. That is, I think, 150 milliwatts. I didn't note it here in my review, but I think it was 150 if I'm not mistaken. So that means this will not be able to power more power-hungry planers, just not powerful enough for that. But just think, my Sandara still worked fine with it. Like, I guess I lacked a bit of dynamics overall, but it still did a fine job with that. And it also gets plenty loud. It's, yeah, just lacks a bit of overhead when to, yeah, make it as dynamic as it could be. And yeah, connectivity-wise, it's USB-C, right? You do get the USB-C cable here and the adapter here, so you will be fine in terms of connectivity. It's just, as I said, I wish it would have a bit more power compared to a DS2. But overall, if you're not that power hungry headphones in everyday usage, like, this will absolutely work here. As I said again, like, Sandara worked fine. I think like 90 to 85% I could get out of my Sandara with this dongle, compared to, yeah, the DS2, which just had quite a bit more power. But overall, it's fine. And yeah, noise floor again, it's basically completely quiet. Like, putting on an 8 ohm IEM, this, like, I couldn't hear anything. It's just dead quiet there. And yeah, that's next. Yeah, usability. So, similar to the DS2, this is in day-to-day life, absolutely fine usable dongle. It's just everything you want a dongle to do. But, and again, I have to come back because it's really heavy. Now we come to the cable problem. This cable is still not thick enough to hold the girth of this dongle. It's just too heavy. Not sure how well it's visible here at the end of this side, but you can see here, like, it starts to look a bit weird, a bit bent, a bit crinkly, which is because if you use it in your pocket with your smartphone, it will just bend like this. Like, it will literally bend in an angle that's not good for the cable. And here, in working strain release with this could help or mitigate this a bit, or just make the dongle a bit lighter. Overall, the DS1, due to its sharp edges and heavy weight, I didn't like to use that much in day-to-day life. And that also translates to the use cases. I would actually recommend this most in a desktop setup or in a laptop setup, or something where you listen to music at home where you don't get in danger of having these corners damaging stuff of you, or where the cable is just more like this and you will damage your cable over time because it's just a bit heavy. So yeah, while everything else, like, it works fine, right? Just plug it in your smartphone, it's fine. In my laptop, it's fine. In my desktop, it's fine. Like, everything works just great in terms of how it's usable. The weight just isn't a factor, and the small corners. And yeah, I would really recommend with the next revision, make the corners a bit less sharp. And I like, again, like, it's nice that it's thick aluminum. It's just a bit heavy. And this could be reduced a bit without losing too much of, you know, like, sturdiness with this. The DS2 feels similar sturdy, it's just quite a bit lighter. And then next, yeah, after usability use cases, can we come to sound? And while I said the DS2 sounded pretty natural, pretty neutral to me, transparent, clear, while all of those apply to this as well, but I have the feeling this is more bassy. On most IEMs I used this on, where at least they had a good bass shelf to begin with, I had the feeling this is amplifying the bass a bit. It's not a lot, I just had the feeling it makes it a bit more weighty, a bit more, like, girthy, a bit generally having a bit better body. And again, it could be, maybe on these days, my ear just told me that's the case. Like, again, we are talking about something that will probably measure pretty flat if you actually take a look at it. Just to my ear, right? Subjectively, I think this sounds a bit more bassy than with DS2, and also a bit more bassy than other dongles with the ESS chipset. Most of those, of course, don't use this here. This uses the ES9038Q2M, so pretty damn good DAC chip here. Most other dongles I have with ESS DAC chip use the 9219C or 9219 DAC chip, so that's kind of a step down from there. But yeah, just want to say, right, this appears to be more bassy even than those other ESS DAC chips to me. So take what as you will. Again, I'm not claiming it is that, because this is just my subjective impression, and I'm, again, pretty sure it measures just flat. Just my impression of this, right? And yeah, After we talked about sound, I think it's already time for a conclusion. So, while I absolutely recommended the DS2 because it sounded good, it had a really nice amount of power, it was well built, it was just usable in day-to-day life. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the DS1. It is usable in day-to-day life without any issues. But, as I said, the corners is just too sharp. Like really, if I touch it like this, it's hurting a bit to my finger. And then the high weight, which makes it basically unusable in day-to-day transportation life, like taking the train, taking the tram, the subway, whatever. It's just a bit heavy for that. So when I factor in like how well this is usable in like many different scenarios, I would absolutely recommend the DS2 over the DS1. Especially because the DS2 also has more than twice the power of this one. So while this is a really good dongle if you plan to use it in a desktop or an like laptop setup, or even just at home where you don't need to run around with it too much, yeah, this is it's a good dongle. Like sound wise or functionality wise, I have no issues. It's just working. It's just the usability in day-to-day life is just not where I want it to be. And that's why if you would like to buy a dongle, I would actually recommend the Fosi Audio DS2, not the DS1. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, if you have recommendations, if you have criticisms, please leave a comment. Donspektor out.